Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I'm here at the Citadel Realty. Since 1980, they have been providing personalized buying, selling, property management, and investment services for folks here in Colorado Springs. Melanie, thanks so much for joining us here today. Let's start off a little bit about yourself. First of all, you yourself, over a dozen years as a real estate broker. You have a business degree that you've gone on to pursue. Share with me a little bit how this got involved as far as a passion in real estate.
Sure. I love houses and I love working with people. And so when I had the opportunity to get my real estate license out in Colorado after we moved here, I definitely pursued it and have been doing it ever since and have loved every minute of it.
Wonderful. Obviously, one of the most exciting times for folks out there is they're out looking for their first home. It can be a very exciting time, but at the same time, it's rather overwhelming. A lot of details out there. Are these the kind of folks that you're able to help that come through the doors?
Absolutely. First-time home buyers are my favorite just because they need so much assistance working through the process and making sure that they have the right lender in place, making sure that any construction work that needs to be done on the property prior to closing due to any requirements for the lender. I work on all of those.
One of the things, obviously, that new home buyers out there, they're not used to the industry. Negotiation has to be a real skill that helps pave a way to a nice closing. It's important for you to know what the market entails to properly negotiate.
Absolutely. Not only negotiating for price, but then once that you have the price in place, then negotiating if there's any repairs or things that need to be done, whether they're requirements for VA or FHA lending or whether they're just requirements that the buyer would like to have done before they purchase the property.
Your team truly lives and works here in Colorado Springs. I imagine that is important as far as knowing what the market will handle. I mean, the worst thing is to basically put in an offer way too high and obviously protect some of that money. Is that something that new homeowners kind of get used to, and can you walk them through those steps?
Absolutely. We walk them through the entire process before we even put them in a car to go ahead and take a look at properties. We make sure that they're pre-qualified with a lender and that they know what approximately that their payments would be based on the purchase price of certain homes. We also have a free service through our website where we can set someone up on a search called the Home Finder Search, and that's where we would put in some search criteria and then they would be able to go in every day and log in and see what new properties come up. They get an email based on those new properties and they would be able to drive by properties. It just puts a lot of stuff in their hands where that they can go ahead and look on the internet.
Wonderful. I mean, quite honestly, is it important for people to look for an agent that can not only have up-to-the-minute listings, even ones that you don't personally list yourself, but basically it gives them more options?
Absolutely. And that's what this system does for them. It allows them to get onto the system. They can log in day and night. They have their own password. They can change their search criteria, and then they can go ahead and see what the values of properties are in certain areas that they're interested in, what is the new market. It also, once that somebody buys a house through us, they can be on the sold home alert, and that's where once a month they would get an email from us, any property that has sold in their area of where they purchased.
Like you said, your first home buyer, they're your favorite, but honestly, there's a lot of seasoned pros out there that come through the door as well. Folks that are looking for investment properties, is that something you can help with as well?
Yes, we handle the 1031 exchanges, whether we're working with somebody in Colorado Springs that they want to sell their property here and exchange to another state, or vice versa if they are going to purchase here. We definitely can assist them with that as well. We handle multifamily properties, single-family homes, condos, townhomes, land, all of those we can take care of.
All the details, you're crossing the T's, dotting the I's, so they don't have to stay up at night worrying about these things. Obviously, selling your home. This is a big area where you want to make sure that you are getting the most bang for your buck, making sure your investment pays off for itself. Folks that are out there selling their home, does it matter if it's a single residential or all the way up to a multi-tenant?
Doesn't matter at all. We handle any of those properties, no matter what they are, where they are. We go into other counties. We mostly do El Paso County, Colorado Springs area, but we can go, into any, and we can handle anything from fourplexes on up, apartment complexes, whatever that they need.
Obviously, in a perfect world, we put our house on the market, we put a price on it that we'd like to see, and people come by it and it's over. But really, there's a lot that goes on. Let's say, for instance, people that are giving less than desirable offers, or even basically they're not qualified. Is it important for a professional to be able to handle those in a constructive way?
Absolutely. We ask for a pre-qualification letter whenever we get an offer in on there to make sure that the buyer is actually pre-qualified, meaning that they have talked with a lender. They haven't necessarily given paperwork, but they have at least talked with a lender and that they are comfortable with that. If you get in a really low offer, we go over what the options are with the seller, how to tailor the offer back and make a counter offer to see if we can make it work. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. It just depends.
One of the tools that you provide for free is a competitive market analysis. Share with us what that tool would do.
Sure. Competitive market analysis is what we consider a CMA, and that's where we tell the seller and the buyer, based on what that they're looking at, what the value of the property is, and what the other homes in the area have sold for, what's active and listed on the MLS. If it's a seller, we touch base once a week with the seller to let them know if there's anything new that has come on the market, based on what the qualifications are with their house or with their multi-unit property, because the market's changing all of the time. So we constantly have to make sure that we give the seller or the buyer the most updated information.
Like I said, it's an ever-changing market, an ever-changing industry. I mean, now more than ever, actual consumers are out there turning to the web to find houses to buy. Are you able to tap into some of that technology and get the listings out there for folks that list with you?
Oh, absolutely. We use about 30 other websites, ones that we post on the MLS through the Pikes Peak Association of Realtors. We use about 30 of them, and we put in as complete of an MLS as we can. And I know that might sound silly to some people, but it really is important, not only what the school district is, but what the schools are, making sure that the square footage is correct, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, where those are located, what the size of the bedrooms, bathrooms. You just never know how somebody is going to look at a property and how they're going to search. RV parking, there's just so many different ways. And so we make sure also photos are very, very important. Most people don't even want to look at very many properties that have a lot of photos in them.
Absolutely. I mean, so it's important, the presentation of how you put it out there. I'm always amazed that people try to do it yourself. I mean, you save a couple dollars here, but yet this is an area of life. If you make one mistake, it can be very costly. And basically, you can save a lot of money and time. But not only that, but peace of mind from the contract all the way to the closing has to be very valuable for the client.
Absolutely. Well, because there's a lot of emotion, and the realtor brings in more of the non-emotion. So we are looking at it not from an emotional perspective that we've lived in that house for the last 20 years, or we've updated it with this and that. So we are able to go into it and be able to take a step back for them and say, I understand that this is a home that you have lovingly cared for. Now that we're trying to sell it, maybe somebody has a little bit different perspective. They want a certain amount updated or different things, and that we're able to work with them and work with title and just all of the different areas that we need to work with in order to get the property closed.
So no matter if they're buying or selling, property exchange, commercial, residential, quite honestly, your team has over 80 plus years of combined experience pretty much at their disposal.
Yes, absolutely. We have several full-time staff members that take care of everything. So along with myself, whether it's the property management side of it with the commercial or residential, or it's we have a bookkeeper that takes care of everything, front desk receptionist, several property managers.
How do the commercial accounts differ from that of a residential?
Commercial accounts differ depending on how big that the building is. You can have a medical building that we manage that maybe just has a couple different clients in it versus an office building that maybe has 8 or 10 clients in it. So commercial is different also in some of the aspects of cleaning. If you have a medical building and there's very specific types of cleaning that need to happen, We handle everything from the small strip mall up to the large office building, but no building actually is too small. We'll handle anything from something that just has a couple of tenants in there. We work with the owner as far as splitting up the utilities. You know, if someone wants a triple net lease versus a gross income lease, it just depends. We handle screening the tenants, getting the leases in place, you know, trying to get them the highest amount of rent for that property and to get it long term. So then the tenants are locked into a certain rate, and then the owner of the building knows what the income will be for those amounts of years.
Well, viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. First of all, on the website, you can take a little closer look at the team. We're talking about 80 plus years of experience here. This is a company that began back in 1980. It is now headed up and owned by Melanie. It's locally owned, always has been, of folks that work and live here in Colorado Springs. You can also take a look at the testimonials right there online as well. And obviously, give them a call. They can set you up with your own login, find out exactly what criteria you're looking for. The worst thing you want to do is waste a lot of time looking at properties that have nothing to do with what it is you're looking for. They take a very personalized approach when it comes to sitting down with you and customizing really what it is you're looking for. Obviously, as folks out there that are doing property as an investment, the actual buying of that property really is just the first step. I mean, a real big chunk of that now is the property management, and that is something your team does as well. Is that right?
Yeah, we've been doing that since 1980, and we can handle everything from, you know, a small condo, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, on up to multi-unit properties.
I mean, quite honestly, there's a lot of work that takes place before you even put somebody in that property. We're talking about screening. We're talking about advertising the property. We're talking about showing the property. Are these all steps that you can basically take away from the investment owner?
Correct. They will not hear from us unless there's some major issue. So we handle advertising the property, getting it marketed, and then once that we get it marketed, as long as, you know, then we get people, we show the property to people, get feedback, you know, make sure that everything looks good prior to even putting it on the market. And then once that we have an applicant that has come in, we go ahead and take their application. We screen them in many, many different ways. We do credit, we do criminal, we do past rental history, we verify employment, any stone we can unturned in regards to the person we do to make sure that they qualify. Because we want to make sure that we get good tenants in there that will take care of the property.
Take care of the property, make sure that property is kept in top shape so that it's worth something at the end of it. Once the folks are in place, do you also take care of the collecting of the rent or even possible repairs that happen to come up?
Yes, we take care of collecting of the rent. That is done every single month. We have a complete online system for both tenants and owners. So they will be able to log into our system. They can see if tenants have paid, how much that they paid, when they paid. We do billing for utilities if need be. You know, a lot of the places they pay their own billing or their own utilities. We also have a whole construction side of Citadel that we're really proud of, and that is run by Jim, and we end up he takes care of negotiating prices for different things so we can get the best deals because we have so many properties that we manage. Sure. So things from carpet, paint, you know, clogged sinks, whatever that the issues may be, we have a whole department that can handle and to do that. With the department, with the construction side, we work to get the best people that give the most bang for the buck, meaning that, you know, they get the job done and they get it done at a competitive price, and then they, you know, work with us. We bill the information out to the tenants if it's a tenant-caused issue or to the homeowner if it's a homeowner-caused issue.
So really they are tapping into the relationships that you guys have established throughout the years and really benefiting from that. Obviously, you're handing over a new set of keys to a new homeowner or possibly closing on investment that someone has been looking forward to. Has to be kind of a rewarding career. Is this something you still enjoy?
Oh, it's very rewarding. I love it. I love houses. I love to look at them. I love to fix them up. In the past, I've done fix and flips with Jim, who runs the construction part. So we have bought houses, we have fixed them up. So we know what it takes to literally come in and get a property ready, or to keep it in tip-top shape, so that when a seller wants to come in, or when a homeowner wants to come in and sell their property, that it is in the best shape so that they can get top dollar for it. We also work to get the best tenants in there, so that the homes, have the minimal amount, just normal wear and tear on the properties, and make sure that it's a good fit for everybody.
So definitely a good fit for everybody, something you still enjoy doing. Like you say, it's something you began over 12 years as a broker yourself. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. Once again, the contact information is right there. Basically, just reach out to them, and they will set up a consultation with you. Come on to the office, find out what it is that you're needing, be it residential or commercial, or if you're looking at a property exchange, that is something they're very well versed in as well. That is a company, Citadel Realty, Sales, Management, Exchanges. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.